From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Welcome to Colts 360, joined as we are each and every week by head coach Shane Steichen. Coach, attention has turned to the upcoming game against the Tennessee Titans at Lucas Oil Stadium. But last week, coming off that loss to LA, certainly a number of takeaways with that game, but especially for a young team. How important is it to learn how to win in different ways with different situations?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think obviously, going into that game, we didn't think we were going to have the slow start like we did, but the fight that we had in the second half was huge by both sides of the football. Defense holding them to 3 points, and then offense, scoring 23 unanswered. But again, we got to find a way to finish those games. We had a chance there. Defense got to stop there, and we had a chance to win it in regulation, and we didn't get it done. So we got to be better as a group and find ways to win those games.
Second time in as many weeks you play an overtime contest, and something we have heard so much about and seen on display is how unflappable that Anthony Richardson is. How much was he able to benefit potentially from watching Gardner Minshew operate the offense there in Baltimore in that overtime situation and use that to his advantage last Sunday?
Yeah, I think you learn, right? As a young player, you see a veteran guy go out and do that stuff, and then obviously him, in that game on Sunday, yesterday against the Rams was big to see the growth there, to be down 23 and score 23 unanswered, and just his poise and his leadership qualities that he displayed on Sunday were great to see.
We have come to expect so much athleticism with the way he's able to use his legs, and now the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to record 4 rushing touchdowns in his first 3 games. But how much are we seeing the arm strength and the accuracy develop, especially with what he was able to do in that second half versus LA?
Yeah, no, he made some big time plays throwing the football. I think it was 2nd and 20, the go ball he threw to Pierce. He had Aaron Donald on his back, and he just threw it all arm to create that big play. And then, he had a scramble to Ogletree, which was huge. Made some chunk plays, had the seam ball, down the middle to Downs, and then hit the big one to Mo coming across the field to create those. But, he played really good football there in the second half, which was great to see.
You mentioned Drew Ogletree. What a day for the tight ends, both Mo Alley-Cox and Drew finding the end zone. And Drew was a guy coming off last season with the ACL. When you got in the building, probably wasn't doing a whole lot of football work just yet, but when you see an athlete like that and you know his makeup, the athleticism, and what he brings, what element does that add for you as a play caller to have that kind of a weapon?
Yeah, no, it's huge. I heard about Drew before right when I came in the building. I knew he had the injury, but going back and looking at some of his tape through training camp and all that, you see the explosiveness and the speed and the power, and to get him healthy, playing this year, obviously playing at a high level, made a ton of plays. It's awesome to have a player like that.
Defensive side of the ball, Kenny Moore II comes up with that massive interception in a critical situation. Tough to believe that is his first interception since 2021. He is Mr. Lightning in a bottle, especially with a predominantly pretty young secondary. What strides have you seen Kenny make early on in the season, both in his play on the field and as a leader in your locker room?
Well, I think the biggest thing, it starts on the practice field and the way he prepares, in the meetings, taking it to the practice field. You can see the way he practiced shows up on game day. He's always going 100 miles an hour, ready to go in practice, and I think that is a big part of why he plays really well on Sundays. And then the interception he made was awesome to see. They were running an over route, and he undercut it right there and got right underneath it and made a great catch on the football, but he's playing at a very high level.
It is a 4-way tie atop the AFC South. All the teams at 2-2 as you prepare now to host the Tennessee Titans for back-to-back games now at Lucas Oil Stadium for your team. What are the things you have come to expect, the characteristics of any Mike Vrabel-led team? Saw what they did, of course, last week, having the great success offensively and defensively against Cincinnati.
I think the biggest thing with his teams is they're always physical, and he's always got those guys prepared and ready to play, and they're really good in situational football. I know they work on that stuff just like all these teams do, but the physicality, that he coaches and brings to that football team, it always shows up.
Certainly showed up the energy at Lucas Oil Stadium last Sunday. Expect much more of it this Sunday for a great divisional showdown. Coach, always appreciate the time. Good luck Sunday afternoon.
Right. Thank you.
I just love to see them doing good, and they love to see me do good. And just the whole room, if we're rolling, we're flowing, everything's great.
Still ahead on Colts 360, towering tight end Drew Ogletree reveals who he gave that first career touchdown ball to and what kept him motivated on the long road to recovery. That's next.
Come see Zaire Franklin, Blue, cheerleaders, and Colts in Motion at Meyer for autographs and a chance to win tickets. Visit us at Meyer in Westfield from 5 to 7 p.m. on October 17th. Go Colts! It's now time for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. Who holds the Colts single-season record for touchdowns by a tight end? Eric Ebron. In 2018, he had 1 rushing and 13 receiving touchdowns. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
It is 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line. The 2-minute warning. The Colts have 3 tight ends into the game. Richardson throws it upfield. Caught by Andrew Ogletree. He's in! Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! Touchdown for Andrew Ogletree. His first receiving score in the NFL, and it's 23-21.
Come on! Dougie on the first one? I was screaming so loud, I almost fainted, bro. Like, I couldn't see no. Oh, my God! Look, they called us. They said we was going to have a day. Most definitely had a day.
That touchdown, that celebration, the reaction that you just saw, all because Drew Ogletree's first career touchdown in the NFL. All right, Drew, finally got in the end zone. What did we do with the touchdown ball to celebrate?
It's going straight to Mom. Getting a glass case for her is going straight to her.
That's awesome. We saw the dynamic on the bench between all of you guys, how eager you were to celebrate each other. Mo's over there hyping you up. How do you describe the dynamic that there is within the tight end room?
I think that we just have a great room, you know. Everybody respects one another, and then at the end of the day, we're all friends, like outside of football. So I just love to see them doing good, and they love to see me do good, and just the whole room. If we're rolling, we're flowing, everything's great.
We had Coach Steichen in here just a little bit ago talking about you and what he saw, what he envisioned the role for you being within the offense. How well is Coach Steichen's system suited to the type of tight end that you are?
He's a mastermind. As you can see with all the different formation shifts and everything that we're doing, he's definitely a mastermind, you can tell. But the tight ends definitely have a special role in this offense, coming from what he did in Philadelphia. You see what he did with Dallas Goedert and everyone like that. And man, you can tell that the tight ends play a big role, and shoot, I'm here for it.
Not just a new head coach, but also a new position group coach for you. What was your connection with Tom Manning, even coming in when he came in, obviously, in the offseason?
So he's from Youngstown, and I mean, I went to Youngstown, but he also knows some of my former college coaches. So coming in, I guess he already knew about me, and some of my college coaches were telling me about Tom, how Tom was going to coach and how he was, what kind of person he is. They didn't really tell me how funny he was, though. So no, I feel like we have a great connection.
What impact has he had on your game?
Great impact, especially in the run game. You know, trying new things and new techniques and just everything, making me see the game a lot faster, and I appreciate him for that.
Drew, this journey that you've been on the last year, everyone was so excited for you into training camp, the way that you were playing, suffered the ACL tear, you're out for the entire year. What was that journey like for you, and how did you stay so seemingly positive? Because each and every time, I mean, this guy was in here every day in the offseason. You'd see him grind in February, March, April, every day. Big smile on your face, same energy, even through all of the challenges that you were enduring during that period.
It was a long journey, I can tell you that, but I made sure that I stayed positive through the whole thing, because during my first ACL, I kind of went to a kind of dark place and didn't really want to be around people, but I was like, I can't go back to that. And, you know, I'm thankful for my support staff with my friends and my family, especially my teammates, and then also in the training room. And, you know, it was never a day where I was sad to come into work, sad to be rehabbing. And even, I'm so grateful that I was even able to go to the home games. I got to see Jelani's first touchdown. He had a game winner that game too. So I just love to be positive and keep a smile on my face, because I think it's very contagious.
It absolutely is contagious. We all feel it around here. What have you done over all of the work that you've put in? Mentioned the work you did in the offseason, but through training camp and the preseason to create the type of connection with your rookie quarterback that we have seen now on display through those first 4 games?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go through OTAs with him and get that real special connection, but I always told him, like, hey, just throw it up. I promise you I'm gonna come down with it. Wherever you throw it, I'll catch it. And so this offseason, I spent a lot of time on my jugs machine in the garage with my son, my brother, and my girl. We'd all just go in the backyard. I catch about, 1,000 balls a day. Well, not every day.
Yeah.
I try to catch about
Estimated,
1,000 balls. But, man, I have to put it back on my support staff, especially my family. They really made me want to keep going. And I got, my son and my little brother, they're both 8 years old, and they look up to me in my every move. So I got to make sure I set the right example for them.
Hey, AR, keep tossing them up for Drew in the end zone, because we got to get touchdown balls for little brother and your son in there as well. Awesome to see you, my friend. Keep it up. We love seeing you back here. Love seeing you making plays on the field.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We just set them up right where we want them. We just spotted them a big lead and played really bad.
We wanted to make it special for him, and the way that game started, it wasn't special at all.
It's one of the greatest comebacks the league has ever seen. Looking back 20 years at the Monday night comeback in Tampa with the Colts legends who made it all possible. Still ahead on Colts 360.
Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is proud to be the team physicians of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score.
Welcome back to Colts 360. Well, many Colts fans will admit they turned the TV off, went to bed 20 years ago, thinking that the Colts had lost to Tampa Bay on Monday Night Football back in 2003. But luckily for those that went to bed and gave up, you get to relive it all over again. As Tony Dungy, Peyton Manning, and Reggie Wayne explain what led to that fourth quarter comeback that would not just go down in Colts history, but change the course of Colts history.
Absolutely couldn't have scripted it like this.
Lost the football. He's going to score. Interception. And that seals the deal.
We just set them up right where we want them. We just spotted them a big lead and played really bad.
This is not how we planned it.
They kind of had their way with us.
We wanted to make it special for him, and the way that game started, it wasn't special at all.
You stay together, you fight, you scrap, you never give up.
He scores.
We can do this.
It's never over.
And he's trying to engineer a come-from-behind victory here at Raymond James Stadium.
This is off the charts.
This is unbelievable. We just scored 3 touchdowns against the best defense in football in 4 minutes.
I don't think they had any clue what happened at the end.
How crazy is this? How crazy?
Remember that Monday night? You remember what happened, right? I think when the schedule came out, first thing you look for is your bye week. Then the next thing you look at is primetime games, right? And then you look on that, and that was one of the primetime games. You're like, oh, the Bucs in Tampa.
They were the champs.
They were the top defense in football then.
Sapp, you got Brooks, you got Lynch.
And Rondé Barber become Hall of Famers, Simeon Rice. They just had a cast of great players. Tampa is at the top of the charts.
Monday Night Football.
It doesn't get any bigger than Monday Night Football in the early 2000s.
You want to look good on national television.
We knew the whole country would be watching.
Hulk Hogan was at the game. It was rocking. We were motivated because they had let our coach go the year before, and we wanted to win for him.
I'd been here 6 years, and my first time back in Tampa. Had some great relationships with these fans, but now I'm on the other side. I'm the visiting coach. Coming into the stadium that night and coming on the field, I'd been so used to for all those years, coming out of the Bucs tunnel, our sidelines over there. Well, now all of a sudden, I'm out at the visitors tunnel, in the visitors locker room, which I'd never been in, coming to the other side of the field. It just seemed so strange, you know, and dressed in blue instead of red.
Coach didn't talk about that game being more important to him, but we knew that it was.
I tried to downplay it as much as I could. Hey, it's just one more game, but I think our players knew and they understood how much it meant to me.
Everybody knows, like, Coach Dungy was like that father figure that you never wanted to let down.
It was so personal because I had seen them come together as a unit and seen what they could do. All of these factors coming together. It happened to be my birthday as well. This is going to be tough.
From the 26-yard line, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers begin their second drive.
For the first 30 minutes, it was just one mistake after another.
And out in front and making the catch is Keenan McCardell. He's going to score. He got behind the defense. 74 yards as he got by the secondary, and the Buccaneers take the lead.
Everything was going in their favor.
Throws one down the middle of the field. Intercepted by the Colts. Mike Doss. He's at the 50.
We were just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Lost the football, and the Bucs have it, and McCardell is going to run to the end zone for his second touchdown of the game.
They're shooting off the cannon on the ship. Everything was just spiraling downhill.
Sets up looks, throws to the end zone, wide open, Reggie Barlow.
Offense was playing so bad.
Couldn't have played any worse.
Manning gets leveled and the pass is incomplete, intended for Harrison. And that is dropped.
We never played our football.
Really discouraging.
They were kind of living up to their hype. You know, I don't think we were living up to, you know, whatever we had.
Mad.
Felt like we were kind of letting the coach down. His birthday, his return.
This is his homecoming and it's not going right. Then I'm mad because, you know, I know there's a Marv and Keyshawn debate going back and forth.
As Harrison makes the catch.
That's how he get his catches, huh? And he the best receiver. And he the best receiver in the NFL. That's how he get his catches. That's how he get his catches.
It's all those things.
So that'll end the first half with the score of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21, the Indianapolis Colts nothing.
Right before half, right, I'm by Warren Sapp and Nate Webster. He was on that squad. Those guys are formerly Miami guys. And I said, hey, we coming back, bro. And they both like, shit, y'all ain't coming back today. Not tonight, y'all ain't coming back. I said, we coming back.
I remember coming in at halftime saying, how could we be playing so poorly? How could this happen?
Sitting in that halftime, we was like, this is not how we planned it.
We should be embarrassed the way we're playing.
Tony Dungy kind of telling us somewhere along the way, like, surely we can't do any worse. Let's just go out in the second half and try to do a little bit better.
Everything was going in their favor. So, like, anything he said, you know, the outsider would have been like, you know what, he's right. You know, they're terrible right now.
We've got to show who we are. That was the message. We need to show the country that we're better than that, and we've got to go out there and compete the second half.
Do our job, right?
Doing our job in the second half. Hey, I don't know if we're going to win the game, but let's show the country we're a better team than this. Let's just play our game.
And he just wanted us to go out there and play Colts football. Let's see what happens. You just needed a little spark.
And the guys responded, and in the second half, things turned around.
First possession, third quarter, it's always big. Tonight for the Colts, it's incredibly big.
Yeah, very big. They've got to get off to some kind of start here in the second half.
Need a little mojo going.
Going deep, wide open. Touchdown, Marvin!
Marv helped get that spark going in our favor.
And it's Williams for the touchdown.
We started a little something, we just were down by so much.
5.5 to play, third and long.
I remember throwing an interception to Rondé Barber in the fourth quarter.
Throws one down the middle. Intercepted, Rondé Barber.
He runs it back for a touchdown.
And that seals the deal. He's trying to go to Marvin Harrison.
Either Al Michaels or John Madden kind of said, well, that'll do it there. You know, folks, next week we'll be in New England for a game. I mean, it truly was the end of it. And it's funny because Barber ran that touchdown back. Had he gone down, mathematically, we wouldn't have had time to make the comeback.
It was the best thing that could have happened. We're down 2 scores. If they just intercept the ball, they run 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, kick a field goal, and we probably don't get the chance to stage that comeback. But because we got it right back, there was still time for us to work.
It's funny that a pick 6 actually was a blessing, you know, as opposed to just the pick.
Now we're down 3 scores. You're playing against the best defense in football at that time. At that point, I went to Tom Moore, our offensive coordinator, and I said, I think we should take the first group out. We got to play again on a short week. These guys are just going to be teeing off on us. Maybe it's time to just put up the white flag and go. And Tom looked at me and he said, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Grammatical will kick it off, and Brad Pyatt will return it.
Everything started with that kick return. Brad Pyatt.
He's going to run it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, breaks to the outside. He may go 50, 45, 40. He's being chased 35, 30, 25, 20. Horse collared it, knocked down.
Brad Pyatt runs the kickoff back. We get a little spark.
Indy trying to stay alive.
The give is to Mungro, and he scored.
35-21 sounds a little better than 35-14.
And now let's see what he gets ready to do.
Mike's onside kick.
Here they go, and he'll just try to pooch it high into the air.
I remember Idris Bashir just going up and like high pointing it, like jumping out of the stadium.
And the Colts have it.
Idris Bashir is able to come down with a perfect high hopper.
And now the Colts have the ball at their own 42-yard line. The onside kick works. And the Colts still with a fighting chance here.
We get the onside kick, and we're right back out there. Now that energy level was there.
Once you start gaining that momentum, right, you just try to push.
Manning throws, caught, first down.
Once it started going, it was like, wait a minute.
The last 3 minutes, we were up-tempo. We were excited on the sideline, but we were businesslike.
That is the first half of our Colts Declassified. To watch the rest of that Monday Night Football comeback, head to all the Colts social platforms and Colts.com. That is a wrap for us in studio this week. We'll be right back here next week for an all-new episode. Colts hosting the Titans, 1 o'clock kickoff at Lucas Oil Stadium. See you there.